We be ghetto girls, gangsters of Lagos.
You're under arrest. Stop resisting.
Get off me! I didn't do anything! What's happening? Let her go! This is a setup!
Some people grow up with opportunities, some grow up with protection, and some people grow up in Ajegunle, where respect is not given, you collect it, where police know they show when you shout, where survival itself na skill. This is not a story about good girls. This is a story about 3 girls Lagos tried to swallow and failed. There's a Yoruba saying, "Ilu ki mo eni ti iya ti ko." It means the world hardly understands the person hardship has trained. So make you stay with me till the end of this story. Because before Lagos respected them, Lagos first tried to break them. And the place that tried first was a small street inside Ajegunle. Not a quiet street, not a safe street. A street where everybody knew everybody and everybody minded everybody's business.
This is a circle of African tales where African wisdom lives and every story has a lesson.
Inside one old Face Me, I Face You building, room 7. That was where Stella Balogun, Bukky Ajayi, and Felicia Alabi were living. If you never lived inside Ajegunle before, you fit think say people they exaggerate too. They are not. Morning no they break there gently. Morning they burst. Generator noise first, then pepper grinding machine. Then one mama shouting, "Who off this freezer plug since night?" Before sun even rise well, the street already awake. Inside a yellow, cracked Face Me I Face You building, room 7, 3 girls were sleeping on one mattress spread across the floor. The fan was not turning. NEPA had taken light since yesterday afternoon. Stella Balogun was the first to wake up. She didn't stretch, she didn't yawn, she just sat up like someone whose brain never truly sleeps. The heat alone could wake the dead. Behind her, Bukky Ajayi groaned. This heat won't kill person. Felicia Alabi didn't even open her eyes. Now because you dey chop at midnight, your body dey work overtime. Bukky threw pillow at her without lifting her head. "You go chop my food today again, you go still insult me." Stella finally spoke, calm but firm. "Both of una, up. Mama Tawa go soon come knock. She say we never returned her cooler yesterday." Immediately Felicia sat up. That woman no get patience at all. "She gets," Stella said, tying her scarf. "Now hunger she no gets." Their room was small. 1 mattress, 1 plastic wardrobe, 1 gas burner near the window. A small table that also served as their shop counter when they displayed thrift clothes. They had lived together for almost 4 years. No blood relation, but stronger than many families. Nobody for the street knew exactly how the 3 girls came together. But everybody knew one thing. If problems start and Stella appear, the problem will soon end. By 7 a.m., they were outside already. Felicia arranged second-hand clothes on a rope line across the corridor. Bukky was frying akara beside a borrowed stove. Stella sat on a plastic chair, helping a neighbor unlock her phone. "Try remember the pattern," Stella said patiently. The woman scratched her head. "Now my son look am, since he travel I no fit open am again." 2 small boys ran past, shouting, "Fight the back street! Fight the back street!" Stella didn't even look up. Felicia sighed. I never even brush. Carry slippers." She wore her rubber slippers and followed the boys. Ajegunle didn't wait for police. Ajegunle solved itself. 2 young men were dragging a girl's handbag, claiming she owed them money for area protection. The girl was crying, "I don't already pay your chairman last week." One of the boys raised his hand to slap her. A bottle suddenly smashed near his leg. Everybody turned. Felicia stood there, breathing hard, holding the broken neck of a bottle. "Try am." The boy laughed. "Now you go stop." He saw Stella behind her. The laughter died. Stella didn't shout. She didn't threaten. She just looked at him. "You collect money from her before?" Silence. "You get receipts?" Silence again. She stepped closer. "If she pay anybody again for this street, na police I go call myself." "And you know say I sabi your mama house." The second boy hissed and pulled his friend away. "Leave am jare, not be today." The girl burst into tears. Thank you. Felicia waved it off. "No dey waka alone early morning again." When they returned, Bukky had already wrapped akara for customers and kept some for them. She handed Stella a piece. "You go soon become chairman for this area." Stella shrugged. "I no like rubbish." But word had already spread. Old women greeted them respectfully. Children followed them. Even some street boys avoided causing trouble around their building, not because the girls were violent, because they were fair. Night was their busiest time. They cooked jollof rice and stew in large pots and sold late-night food to workers returning home. They also charged phones using a small generator they rented hourly. The generator sputtered as Felicia monitored charging cables. "Person get charge laptop with 50 naira, wickedness." Bukky laughed. "Now business oh." Then a loud knock came on the compound gate. Bang, bang, bang. Everyone went quiet. Stella stood. Outside, 3 park boys stood there. One of them spoke loudly. "From today, every business for this compound go dey pay weekly settlement." The landlord stepped back immediately. Nobody talked. Stella walked forward slowly. "Settlement for waiting." The leader smiled. "Security." Felicia folded her arms. "Security from who?" He looked around. "From us." The compound held its breath. Stella's eyes didn't move. "You know they protect anybody here. You they collect." The boy stepped closer. "You want challenge us?" Stella didn't step back. "No, I won't understand why when they tax poor people when no even get steady light." The boy laughed and turned to his boys. "She get mouth." He pointed at the akara table. "Pack your things. If you no pay, you no go sell here again." Nobody expected what happened next. Bukky walked forward and placed a wrapped akara in his hand. "Eat first," she said quietly. "Then decide if you still won't collect from person where the hustle survive." The boy looked confused. The compound watched. He slowly bit the akara. Silence. He chewed, then shook his head slightly. "Next week," he muttered, and walked away. The compound exploded in whispers. Felicia looked at Bukky. "You bribe am with beans?" Bukky smiled. "Hunger dey humble even lion." Stella didn't smile because she knew something had just changed. Ajegunle had noticed them, and when a place like Ajegunle notices you, your life never stays small again. Respect no dey come one day. It creeps in, small, small. One person go call you first, then 2. Before you know, your name don't reach people who never see your face before. That was how it started for Stella Balogun and her girls. 3 days after the Park Boys incident, a woman ran into their corridor around noon, sweating and almost crying. Stella, my shop don't finish." Stella stepped outside immediately. "What happened?" "My POS machine, then carry am. I just leave am small, go toilet." Felicia hissed. This area boys don't start again." The woman held Stella's hand. "I won't go police, but they say come back later. Please help me first." Stella didn't even argue. "Where the shop dey?" "Bus stop junction." They followed her. The shop was small provisions, recharge cards, drinks, nothing big, but to the woman, na life savings. A small crowd already gathered. Stella didn't talk to the crowd first. She went straight to the Agbero shed near the junction. 4 boys sat there playing draft. One of them smirked. "Area chairman don't come." Stella ignored the sarcasm. "POS machine missing for that woman's shop. Who passed here this morning?" Silence. She pulled a plastic chair and sat down with them. "I no come fight, I come solve." One boy scratched his chin. 2 new boys there around since yesterday. Them sleep for abandoned kiosk. Felicia's eyes narrowed. "Carry us go." They found the kiosk behind the mechanic yard. One of the boys tried to run immediately. Felicia grabbed his shirt. "Relax, nobody won't beat you." Inside, wrapped in nylon, sat the POS machine. The thief started begging. Na hunger push me." Stella sighed. "You thief person where they use am survive. That one cool." They didn't beat him. They returned the machine. The woman cried like she recovered gold. She pressed 5,000 naira into Stella's hand. Stella tried refusing. The woman forced it into Bukky's palm. "Abeg take am. God go bless una." That evening, the story spread across 3 streets. After that day, calls began. "Stella, my apprentice don't disappear with money. Please come, 2 traders they fight. One man they beat him wife every night." Sometimes they walked long distances under sun, sometimes late nights. They didn't charge, but food began entering their room regularly. Rice, yam, stew, bread. Even one woman gave them a standing fan. Felicia flopped on the mattress one night. "We no be poor again, oh." Bukky laughed. "Now because you don't see free food." Stella sat quietly. "This thing wey we dey do, it dey help people." Felicia nodded. "And it dey give us name." Felicia was the first to understand influence. She started hanging around a small bar near the junction, not to drink, but to talk. Bar owners hear everything. Bus drivers hear everything. Conductors hear everything. One evening, a bar owner told her quietly, "You girls fit go far if una wise. For Lagos, information pass money." Felicia took that seriously. Soon she knew which boys were planning thefts, which street fights were brewing, and which landlord was cheating tenants. Meanwhile, Bukky became popular inside the motor park. Drivers loved her food. Conductors respected her because she didn't tolerate nonsense. One conductor once slapped a teenage hawker. Bukky held his collar. "You go apologize now." The park froze. He laughed first until Stella arrived. He apologized. From that day, nobody touched hawkers around that park again.
They started calling Bukky Mama Park. But Stella's name grew differently. She didn't shout, she didn't threaten, she thought. She listened to both sides before speaking. Two brothers once nearly stabbed each other over inherited land documents. Stella sat with them under a mango tree for 2 hours. No insults, no police. They settled. From that day, people began saying, "That girl, she sabi use head." Shop owners began calling her before police. "Police go just collect money," one man told her. "You go solve am." But power never hides, and Lagos never ignores rising names. One afternoon, a black SUV slowly entered their street. Wrong car for that environment. Everybody watched. It stopped near their building. 2 men stepped out. Clean shirts, dark glasses, calm faces. They weren't agberos, they weren't police. One of them asked a boy, "Where Stella Balogun they stay?" The boy pointed at their door. Felicia noticed first from the window. She whispered, "Stella, visitors." Stella walked outside. The man removed his glasses. "You be Stella?" "Yes." He smiled lightly. "My boss hear about you. He say you dey keep peace for this area." Stella stayed silent. He continued, "He wants to meet you." Bukky frowned. "Meet am for waiting." The man looked around the compound slowly. Because once a person begins to control people's trust, important people begin to notice. He handed Stella a card. "Tomorrow, Victoria Island." The SUV drove away. Nobody spoke for a full minute. Felicia finally said softly, "Stella, Lagos don't see us." And for the first time since their rise began, Stella didn't feel proud. She felt something else. Attention. Power for Lagos not be celebration, na announcement. And once your name begin reach places where you never stepped before, somebody somewhere go feel threatened. 3 days after the black SUV visit, the atmosphere of the street changed. Not loud, not obvious, just different. Bukky noticed it first inside the motor park. Normally, drivers greeted her. "Madam Park, Mama Bukky." That morning, silence. 2 conductors she fed every day looked away when she passed. She frowned. "Oga Sola, wetin happen?" The man avoided eye contact. "Nothing, no, I just dey busy." Felicia also sensed it that evening at the bar. Conversation stopped when she entered. A man she used to gist with stood up and left without finishing his drink. She came home uneasy. Something they smell. Stella didn't answer immediately. She had seen 3 strange boys walking around their street since morning. Not residents, not visitors, observers. Night came. Around 1 a.m., loud crashing sounds woke the compound. Bukky jumped up. "My stove!" They rushed outside. Their small charging table and phone stand, the one they used to charge phones for neighbors, was destroyed. Extension boxes broken, wires cut, plastic chairs scattered. No thief, nothing stolen, just damage. Felicia whispered, "Warning." Neighbors gathered. One old woman shook her head. "Una don step person toe." Stella looked at the broken wires quietly. She understood. This wasn't random. Next day at the park, it escalated. Bukky was serving rice when a man grabbed the plate and threw it on the floor. Rice scattered everywhere. She stared at him. "Why you do that?"
The man stepped closer. Who give you permission to control this pack? I know they control anything. She shoved her shoulder. You two they talk for this area. Before she could react, another boy slapped the pot. Hot stew spilled across the table. People watched. Nobody intervened. Bukky clenched her fist. Oh, now done they disrespect too much. She pushed him back. He swung. The punch caught her cheek. Felicia screamed. Driver stepped in late, separating them. The men walked off laughing. One shouted back, "Tell Stella say Chairman greet him." Bukky returned home with swollen face. Stella cleaned the cut in silence. Felicia paced angrily. "We go report police." Stella shook her head slowly. "No." "Why?" "Because this no be police matter yet." Felicia stared. "You know who?" Stella nodded once. "Area chairman." Everybody in Ajegunle knew that name. He controlled collections, park levies, night boys, street permits. Nothing moved without his approval. And 3 girls had accidentally built influence in his territory. 2 days later, police came. Not normal patrol, directly to their room. Who be Stella Balogun? Neighbors watched from corridors. "We receive reports saying that they extort traders." Felicia shouted, "Lie!" They searched their room anyway. No evidence. Still, they carried Stella to the station. She spent the night there. No charge, no explanation, just intimidation. When she returned next morning, Bukky hugged her tightly. Felicia's eyes were red. They won't break us. Stella sat on the mattress quietly, and for the first time since the beginning, she looked tired. Business began collapsing. Traders avoided them. Shop owners stopped calling. People whispered instead of greeting.
Fear spreads faster than respect. One woman quietly told Bukky, "Chairman warned us. Anybody wey follow una go get problem." That evening, the bar owner called Felicia aside. "Tell your friend make she calm down. Chairman know they fight women, but he know they like challenge." Felicia asked carefully, "Wetin he want?" The man sighed. Submission. Night, no electricity, just lantern light inside their small room. Rain started falling on the zinc roof. Nobody spoke for long. Bukky finally broke. "We fit just stop all this, face our normal hustle again." Felicia nodded slowly. "At least we go safe." Stella sat on the floor, back against the wall. She remembered the woman whose POS they recovered, the hawker saved from slap, the wife they stopped from daily beating. She looked up. If we stop, wetin will happen to those people? Silence. Felicia whispered, "Stella, this one don't pass helping people." Stella spoke softly. "No, this na exactly wetin e be." Bukky looked at her sullen reflection in his spoon. "They fit hurt us." Stella nodded. "Yes." Another thunder strike shook the roof. Then she said the sentence that changed everything. "I no go bow." The room went quiet. Felicia stared at her. "You sure?" Stella's voice was calm. "If we run now, fear go rule this street forever. Somebody must stand." Bukky exhaled slowly. Then she stood. "Then we stand together." Felicia smiled faintly. "Na Sister Seku be this." Outside, rain kept falling. Inside, the decision was made. They were no longer just girls surviving Ajegunle. They had chosen a side. An area chairman would hear it soon. The streets didn't end the fight, but something unexpected interrupted it. Opportunity. 3 nights after Stella said, "I no go bow," another incident happened, the one that changed their direction completely. It started at a small outdoor birthday party 2 streets away. One young tech guy from Surulere rented a compound space to celebrate. Speakers loud, drinks flowing, boys already forming trouble. As usual, one shouting started. Somebody ran to call Stella. "Abeg come o, they won't scatter party." The girls arrived. 2 rival groups were already pushing each other. Bottles on tables. One shove more and everywhere would turn war zone. Bukky cracked her knuckles. "Make her handle this." But Stella raised her hand. "Wait." Instead of shouting, she walked straight into the middle alone. The boys paused. One tall guy laughed. "Who be this girl wey enter men matter?" Stella spoke calmly. "No fight go happen here today." They laughed louder. One stepped closer. "You go stop am?" Stella didn't raise her voice. "If police come now,
Everybody here go run, but landlord go ban this venue. Next time, none of una go get where to flex again. They paused. She continued, and the birthday boy go lose money, DJ go lose job, and una still no solve anything. So why una dey fight? Silence. Nobody had ever explained consequences to them like that. She pointed at one group. You, your issue na respect. Then the other. And you, na pride. She crossed her arms. Shake hand, drink, go home alive. For a long moment, nobody moved. Then, slowly, one guy stretched his hand. The other accepted. The crowd erupted. Party saved. The birthday boy almost cried. Felicia whispered, Stella, what did you just do? Stella shrugged. People they fight because nobody they think for them. But someone else had been watching. A man in his early 40s, well-dressed, quiet. He hadn't intervened. He had observed. Next afternoon, a black car stopped in front of their compound again. This time, neighbors ran to call them excitedly. Omo, big man, they find una. They stepped outside cautiously. The man stepped out. Which one be Stella? She raised her hand. He smiled slightly. My name is Mr. Adeyemi. He spoke gently. I watched you last night. You didn't fight. You solved. They were confused. He continued. I run a small corporate event logistics company in Victoria Island. I need people where fit control crowd without violence. Interested? The girls looked at each other. Felicia answered first. Yes, sir. Bukky crossed her arms. Why you trust us? He smiled. Because power no be shouting. Power na control. He handed Stella a card. Come tomorrow. They almost didn't sleep that night. Next morning, they took bus to Victoria Island. Everything changed. Tall buildings, clean roads, air-conditioned offices. Bukky whispered, Lagos get 2 Lagos so. Inside the office, they felt small. Receptionist English alone almost sent Bukky back home, but Stella stayed calm. Mr. Adeyemi explained, small corporate events this weekend. You will coordinate gate entry, crowd movement, and vendor timing. They nodded, though they barely understood everything. The event day came. First hour was chaos. Guests arriving at once, vendors late, security confused. Bukky nearly lost patience. I won't shout for these people. Stella held her arm. No, observe first. She reorganized entrance lines, assigned waiting areas, redirected vendors. Felicia handled guest list confidently. Within 1 hour, everything stabilized. Mr. Adeyemi watched quietly. By night end, the event went smoothly. He approached Stella. You just saved me embarrassment. He paid them more money than they had ever held at once. Bukky stared at the envelope. This money legal? He laughed. Very legal. Another event came, then another. They learned how to speak professionally, how to schedule, how to negotiate vendors, how to manage people with respect. Felicia adapted fastest. She loved elite spaces. Bukky remained suspicious. These rich people smile too much. Stella absorbed knowledge silently. She began reading contracts, asking questions, taking notes. They started visiting restaurants, meeting rooms, conference halls. But inside, they still felt like Ajegunle girls. One day at a restaurant, Bukky whispered, Abeg, which spoon we supposed to use? Felicia kicked her under the table. Just copy them. They laughed softly, but the ghetto noticed. When they returned home evenings in better clothes, whispers began. She don't change. She don't forget us. Some neighbors stopped greeting. Pack boys looked colder. An area chairman head too. Power was shifting, not by violence anymore, but by influence. One night, Stella stood outside their compound, looking at the street. Children still playing barefoot, generators still loud, the same place, but she wasn't the same girl anymore. Felicia stood beside her. You dey think? Stella nodded. City don't open door. Bukky joined them. Question B, the street go allow us pass? None of them answered, because deep down, they knew rising up is hard, but leaving the ghetto is harder. Success didn't change the street. It changed how the street looked at them.
At first, it was small things. Neighbors stopped sending their children to help fetch water. Women that used to call them our daughters now whispered when they passed. Them don't join rich people, them they form now. Bukky tried to ignore it, but one evening, a woman she had protected months ago refused to greet her. Bukky stood there confused. "Ma, good evening." The woman turned away. That night, Bukky was quiet, unusually quiet. Felicia noticed. "You never talk since we come back." Bukky shrugged. "Nothing." Stella looked at her. "Talk." Bukky finally muttered. "It be like we don't lose our people." Silence filled the room. Because they felt it too. They were no longer fully ghetto, but they were not yet city. They were floating, and floating people have no protection. The area chairman now watched carefully. Before, he saw them as stubborn girls. Now he saw influence, and influence threatened his control. People were settling disputes without him. Traders were calling Stella instead of paying levies. Even small politicians had started greeting them. One evening, his boys approached the trader Stella helped. "You they called that girl instead of chairman?" They destroyed the man's store. Message sent. Next day, traders ran to Stella, fear in their eyes. "Please, no leave us." Stella realized the truth. They had entered a level where helping people had consequences. Felicia said softly, "Chairman no dey joke again." Bukky clenched her fists. "Make we confront him." Stella shook her head. "No, he dey wait for violence." But events moved faster than plans. One Saturday, during an event they were managing in Surulere, police suddenly arrived. Not normal patrol, task force, aggressive, shouting. People scattered. Before they understood what was happening, they grabbed Felicia. You are under arrest." Felicia froze. "For waiting?" No explanation. Handcuffs. Bukky nearly attacked the officers. Stella held her tightly. "No!" Felicia was pushed into the van. As he drove away, she shouted, "Stella!" The streets spun around them. They later discovered the truth. Someone had tipped police that the girls were running an illegal protection ring, and only one person knew enough details to say that. Someone close. Jordan. The same boy who used to help them charge phones. The same one they fed many nights. He had started working under area chairman. He betrayed them. When Stella heard, she didn't shout. She didn't cry. She just sat down. Bukky exploded. "I go find him. I swear I go break him head." Stella whispered. "No." Her voice was shaking. "This na wetin chairman want. Make we react." But for the first time, Stella herself didn't have a plan. They spent the night running between police station and contacts Mr. Adeyemi gave them. Felicia slept on a bench in detention. No makeup, no confidence, just fear. She thought, we don't finally reach where streets swallow people. Morning came. Mr. Adeyemi arrived with a lawyer. Within hours, Felicia was released. When she stepped outside, Bukky hugged her so tightly she almost fell. Felicia started crying. "I think say I no go come out." Even Stella hugged her, something she rarely did. But the damage had already happened. That night, Felicia said something that shocked them. "I think I won't stop." Silence. Bukky stared at her. "Stop?" Felicia nodded. "I nearly enter prison. I know strong like una. I no want this life again." Bukky's eyes filled. "So you go leave us?" "I dey fear." It was the first time they saw her afraid. Not straight afraid, life afraid. Stella walked outside. She sat on the step in front of their room, alone. Minutes later, Bukky joined her. "Everything dey scatter." Stella spoke slowly. "You know wetin I just realized?" Bukky looked at her. "We think say na hustle keep us alive." She shook her head. "No." She looked toward their small door where Felicia sat crying inside. "Now we." Bukky understood immediately. All the nights, all the fights, all the hunger. They didn't survive because they were tough. They survived because they never stood alone. Felicia came outside quietly. "I no wan lose una." Stella stood up. "Then we no go lose each other." Bukky wiped her face. "No police,
No chairman, no betrayal could separate us. They held hands, not dramatically, just firmly. 3 girls, in front of one small room, still poor, still threatened, but something had changed. For the first time, they weren't trying to escape the street anymore. They were choosing each other. And that was stronger than power.
After Felicia's arrest, something changed, not just in them, in how they understood Lagos. Because for the first time, they saw clearly. This city was not dangerous because of street boys, it was dangerous because of systems. Mr. Adeyemi called Stella 2 days later. Come to my office, alone. She almost didn't go. Office building still made her uncomfortable. Too quiet, too clean. But she went. He didn't greet long. He placed a file in front of her. Do you know why Felicia was arrested without evidence? Stella shook her head. Because someone filed a report and paid for it to move fast. Her eyes narrowed. Chairman! Mr. Adeyemi nodded. But he didn't do it directly. He opened the file. Inside were statements, signatures, payments, names of officers. Stella stared. You mean police know? They know, he said calmly, and some benefit. She sat back slowly. For the first time, she understood why the street never changed. Not because people were bad, because the structure protected bad behavior. You girls try to fight men, he said, but you are actually challenging income. Stella finally spoke. So how we go stop him? He smiled slightly. You don't fight a system with fists. He tapped the file. You expose it. That night, she gathered Bukky and Felicia. She explained everything. Bukky paced angrily. So we go just talk? Not so we go win? Stella shook her head. No, we go prepare. For weeks, they moved carefully. No confrontation, no street drama. Felicia used her connections with bar owners and transport workers to gather quiet testimonies. Bukky spoke to traders but not publicly, recording complaints. Stella worked with Mr. Adeyemi's lawyer friend. Every illegal fee, every forced collection, every fake arrest, they documented everything. And most importantly, they waited. The opportunity came during a local council meeting, one of those community gatherings politicians used to show face. Chairman attended proudly. He sat front row, smiling like a king. He didn't notice Stella, Bukky, and Felicia at the back. When the open floor complaint session started, traders began cautiously. Then Stella stood up. The hall became quiet immediately. Everyone knew her. Even Chairman smirked. Ah, the famous girls. Stella spoke calmly. No shouting today. She handed documents to the council officials. Then videos were played. Recordings of illegal levies, threats, police cooperation, names mentioned, faces visible. The hall shifted. Murmurs grew. Chairman's smile slowly faded. For once, he wasn't controlling the room. He tried to laugh. Na edited video. Then the lawyer stood. These statements are notarized. Silence. The politician present suddenly changed tone. We will investigate this immediately. Because now it was public. And systems fear embarrassment more than crime. Chairman stood up angrily and walked out. But for the first time in Ajegunle, he left without power. Weeks later, police officers were transferred. Collections stopped. Park boys reduced harassment, and something unexpected happened. Traders approached the girls. Abeg, no leave us. They didn't want fighters anymore. They wanted structure. Mr. Adeyemi made a suggestion. Instead of protecting the street informally, formalize it. Stella thought deeply. Then she understood. They didn't need to keep reacting to problems. They could create solutions. 3 months later, they rented a small building. Same street, different purpose. They cleaned it themselves, painted it themselves. Even neighbors joined. The signboard went up. Sisters Circle Community Hub. Inside, phone repair training, catering lessons, Bukky's kitchen became full every day. Small business classes, support space for women facing abuse, safe reporting channel for traders. They were no longer just girls solving problems, they were building futures. Young boys now carried chairs instead of knives. Girls learned skills instead of waiting for survival. Old women visited daily just to sit and talk. The opening day felt unreal. The same street where they once fetched water at 5 a.m., the same place they fought drunk men, now filled with music, food, laughter. One old woman held Stella's hand. God knew they sleep. Bukky tried to act strong but cried when children shouted her name. Felicia smiled more that day than she had in months. Then something small happened. Area boys, the same ones that once collected illegal money, walked in quietly. They removed their caps. "Chair lady, we fit volunteer help teach the boys?" Stella almost laughed. Life had turned completely. As evening came, the sun set over the streets. People gathered naturally around the building. Someone whispered loudly, "Na those Agbero girls be this?" Another replied, "Lagos no balance." They stood outside their center, no longer feared, not rich yet, but respected. Not because they fought, because they stayed, because they refused to forget where they came from. 3 girls from one small room, now protectors, now providers, now proof that sometimes the strongest power in Lagos is not violence, it is consistency. And this time, the city did not swallow them. They reshaped their corner of it. Do you think Stella, Bukky, and Felicia did the right thing by exposing the system instead of fighting back? If you were in their position, would you have left the ghetto or come back to help your people? Was the area chairman the real problem or the system behind him? Can street respect ever turn into real success in real life? Which of the 3 girls do you relate to most? Stella, Bukky, or Felicia? Do you believe friendship like theirs truly exists today? And be honest, would you trust people with your life the way they trusted each other?
Every story carries a lesson, and if this one touched you in any way, let it guide your heart and inspire your journey. I hope you enjoyed this African folktale. If you did, please subscribe to this channel for more amazing, life-changing stories. Don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment. And if you want more, the next story is already waiting for you on your screen. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. See you in the next video.